नमस्ते, हमेशा खुश रहो बिटियाओ। माई सेल्फ डॉक्टर हिना मेवाड़ा, असिस्टेंट प्रोफेसर, फैकल्टी ऑफ आयुर्वेदिक साइंस, डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ प्रसूति एंड स्त्री रोग, जयति विद्यापीठ, वुमेन्स यूनिवर्सिटी. In today's session, I am going to discuss about the dilatation and curettage of the cervix. So, the dilatation means to dilate the cervix. In some cases, dilatation of external os is enough, but in majority, the entire canal, including the internal os, is to be dilated. Some conditions are there uh, where dilatation is only indicated without curettage. They are prior to the amputation of cervix, prior to the hysteroscopy, in the pyometra or hematometra as a therapeutic purpose, or prior to the introduction of uterine curettage and insertion of the intrauterine devices, or radium or laminaria tent, and as a therapeutic purpose in a spasmodic dysmenorrhea. The dilatation and curettage is an operative procedure whereby the dilatation of cervical canal followed by uterine curettage is done. It is a most common gynecological procedure. So there are three main purposes of dilatation and curettage of the cervix, that is diagnostic purpose, therapeutic purpose, and combined purpose. In the case of infertility, dysfunctional uterine bleeding, pathological amenorrhea, endometrial tuberculosis, endometrial carcinoma, postmenopausal bleeding, and chorion epithelioma, uh, the dilatation and curettage is done as a diagnostic procedure. In the case of DUB, means dysfunctional uterine bleeding, endometrial polyp, removal of intrauterine devices, and in incomplete abortion, DNC is done as a therapeutic purpose. And in DUB and endometrial polyp, the DNC is done both diagnostic and therapeutic purpose. So what are the instruments which is used in the procedure of dilatation and curettage? There is sponge holder, Sims speculum, valsellum, anterior vaginal wall retractor, uterine sound, dilators, uterine curetors, and container. See in this diagram, this is the Sims speculum, Cusco speculum, this is the dilators, sponge holder, valsellum, and curetors, and this is the container. So first of all, the patient is to empty the bladder prior to the operation. Dilatation and curettage is done under the general anesthesia or under diazepam sedation with or without cervical block. She is placed in lithotomy position. Local antiseptic cleaning and draping is done. Then bimanual examination is performed for any abnormality. After bimanual examination, posterior vaginal speculum means Sims speculum is introduced. Then the anterior lip of cervix is grasped with with an Ellis tissue forceps. And after that, uterine sound is introduced to confirm the position and the length of the uterocervical canal. See in this diagram, this is Sims speculum. The cervical lip is held by valsellum, and this is the uterine sound and dilator. After that, cervical canal is dilated with graduated dilators. When the dilator is introduced, the cervix is made steady by traction of the valsellum, because there is a chance of the injury of the cervix when it can't make steady. Hawkins umber dilator should be held in such a way that the knob is inside the palm and the index finger rest on the body of the instrument, and the tip of finger should be placed at a distance of 3 centimeters, slightly more than the length of cervical canal from the tip of the instrument. The fingertip act as a guard. The tip of the instrument should pass beyond the internal os, or evidenced by the fact that is grasped by it and does not fall even when the support of the instrument is withdrawn. The tip of the dilator should be directed anterior or posteriorly according to the position of the uterus. So this diagram shows how to Hagar dilator is used. The left hand is make steady, so the cervix is steady during procedure. And this is the Hagar dilator, and the position of Hagar dilator is uh, the finger is act like a guard, and it is 3 centimeter away from the tip, and the rest of the body of instrument is lies on the palm of right hand. This is the procedure which is explained previously. After the desired dilation, the uterine cavity is curated by an uterine curate, either in clockwise or anti-clockwise direction, starting from the fundus down to the internal os. When there is benign lesion, sharp curettage is indicated, and when there is suspected malignancy, blunt curettage is used. The curate should be gentle but thorough. Vigorous curate may damage the basal layer of the endometrium and uterine muscle and cause uterine synecdoche or Asherman syndrome. Now the valsellum and the speculum are removed, and the curated material is preserved in 10% formal saline or normal saline in suspected tubercular endometritis, labeled properly and sent for histological examination. The short history of case and first day of last menstrual period, especially in infertility cases and the UB, should be positively mentioned on the container. After a short period of observation, means 3 to 4 hours after, with passing off of the anesthesia effect, the patient may go home. Now, what are the complications of dilatation and curettage? They are immediate or remote complication. The immediate complication is injury to the cervix. The injury to the lip of cervix is caused by valsellum bite or lateral tear by dilators. In this condition, there is no need of any treatment. Bleeding from the valsellum site is usually slight and is stopped by gauze pressure or best by the hemostatic suture. When there is a lateral tear and bleeding is slight, then hemostasis is effective by intracervical or vaginal gauze plugging. When there is brisk hemorrhage, is likely due to the injury of descending cervical artery, then requires hemostatic suture, taking deep bite of the cervical tissue on the same side. The second complication is uterine perforation. The uterine perforation is diagnosed by sudden loss of resistance of sound and dilator, and the passage of instrument more than the length of the uterine cavity, the undue mobility of the instrument, and vaginal bleeding. When these features are present, then it is the symptom of uterine perforation. The injury to the gut and infection are the other immediate complications. Now, remote complication. The cervical incompetence is due to the injury of internal os. This may cause recurrent mid-trimester abortion. And uterine synecdoche, it is due to the injury to the uterine muscles or due to the over curettage. This may cause secondary amenorrhea and infertility. So thank you for listening my session. Hope you all are satisfied with my session. This session is powered by Digital Version 2.0. If you have any queries, please write in comment box. So I will resolve it. Thank you so much.